Hello developers and welcome on my channel, or welcome again because we are almost 300 subscribers. That's crazy. I created this channel 3 months ago. I didn't even imagine that I would reach 300 subscribers. As a first YouTube channel, it's crazy for me, especially on coding. But anyway, today this video is going to be about Stack, language that I use, product that I use. And everything started with this tweet. It wasn't my idea at first. I saw this online, like people were commenting about what tool and language they use. And I found really interesting for you who don't know me that much, because I didn't talk about me so much on this channel, to know what are the language that I use and all the products also that are related to my web applications. So I think it's a good start to share our stack. Please subscribe to this channel, and in the comment put your stack also. I'm very interested in. I really want to know how you create your apps, what do you use, and yeah, tell me everything about it. So let's start with the front-end framework that I use the most. It's Vue.js. I'm coding with Vue.js since now 7 years. I'm a real big fan of Vue.js. I really enjoy using this framework. It's so easy to understand. The developer experience is very satisfying. Vue.js is really my favorite front-end framework, to be honest. Of course, I'm also using Next.js. I love Next.js. I'm a big fan of React, but until now, Vue was really my favorite framework, all right? I wasn't really into React, but when Next.js came out, it reminded me so much of Next.js, which is a Vue.js framework. It's made on top of Vue, and you can create pages and etc, etc. And Next.js is amazing. By the way, there is the conference coming in the 25th of October. I will follow it for sure. When I want to deploy my applications, I always use Netlify. So I know there is also Vercel that you can use, and I don't get a big difference between them. I mean, it's okay for me to use also Vercel, which is from Next.js. But me, I always deploy my apps on Netlify because I'm used to it. And I know that big companies that I worked for also deploy on Netlify. So honestly, Netlify for me, it's one of the best tools you can have to deploy your app. If you just arrive on this channel, or if you follow me since 3 months now, you might know that I'm crazy about Supabase. Supabase, it's an open source Firebase alternative that is really cool. I'm crazy about it. I tweet every day on Supabase because I use it for all my projects. And I'm going to take for sure the enterprise plan as soon as possible, because with Supabase, you just don't need a backend anymore, okay? You just need to create a Supabase instance in here, and then you can create your tables for your data. You can store images. You can use the authentication system. You can use the SQL editor. You can use the database also, the edge functions that I didn't try yet. You have a logs for Explorer. You have reports here, and you get auto-generated code in the API section. As we see here, I got a tables, jobs, and here I got code that I can just copy paste. And that's crazy. I think for me, honestly, Supabase is the product of the year, and I will be using it for sure for a long time. Previous video, I also talked about that I'm going to learn Go for the backend part, because so much people tell me to learn Go. So I'm very excited to learn a new language, but basically for the backend, what I use is Node.js. So even if I'm using Supabase, sometimes I need to create some backend service, and Node.js is just doing the job all the time. It's a basic. So yeah, Node.js for the backend for me, it's a regular. For the CSS, of course, I use Tailwind. You see, with CSS, you can create really fast a design system. Everything is done. It's so easy to handle, and it's very intuitive. Sizes that you will use for sure one day in your life. About the colors, it's so complete also. The typography, the shadows. Tailwind is my favorite design system. But I have to say that often, as I said in my previous video, I also use Material UI. So you see, it's a component library, okay, made on Material UI for Next.js. When you have to build a SaaS, it's the best solution ever. If you don't think Material UI is one of the best solutions to build SaaS, put down in the comments. Material UI is for Next.js, but for Vue, of course, I got Vuetify. And Vuetify, gosh, I use it so much. It's just so cool to work with Vuetify on Vue.js. I really recommend you to use it. For analytics, recently, I found out a product called Plausible. And Plausible, it's a lightweight and open source web analytics. For now, I'm just using the free demo. I don't want to use Google Analytics anymore. I'm tired of it. I prefer to use open source tool like this. And I think it's really cheap. If I remember well, let's look at the pricing. As you see, it starts at €9 per month, so $9. When I have to create forms and when I don't code them, I use Tally. It's a tool that allows you to create forms on the fly. When I want to test an idea and I just have to see if people are interested in, I just create a form and I send that to them. And which is really cool is that with Tally, as you see, you can create really customized form and catch data. One thing that is negative with Tally, the only thing that is negative, it's that you are limited. You cannot have that much people who fulfill forms. I think it's 10 forms maximum or 10 answers per day. I don't remember well. When I need to create lives, or when I need to create classrooms, I use Livestorm. Livestorm, it's a product to create private classrooms, all right? So as you see here, you can invite people with their email and you will have private meeting. You can use it for product demo, live events, company communication, online courses. Honestly, guys, I used Livestorm in my previous startup, CoachHub. We used to sell a sports course online. And we used Livestorm. They got an API. You can create on the fly classrooms and stuff. It's really, really useful. And the tool is really well made. So here we see that we have an events page and we can create new events like this on the fly. You can invite people who can talk, of course. You got team members and stuff. And here we saw that I created an event for my next workshop about Vue.js, because yes, I'm doing a workshop around Vue.js. And here you see, I will create a live with that. And I can see the registrant. If I click on it, then later I can have a list of registrant of people who registered to see the live. They receive email invites. You can have archive or recording, and you can fulfill everything. The emails you want to send, okay. You can design the event by itself because it has a page. The event room, you can say that you want to have chat tabs or whatever, etc., etc. It's an amazing tool. And you have automations also, of course. I love to use it to create lives. Could not pass on Notion. Notion, it's the tool that I'm using every day. I got it on my phone. I got it on my computer. I got all my ideas that are here. Basically, Notion, it's Word, Excel, Trello, and a lot of tools that you have in several software, but only in one. So with Notion, you can create your own space. You can create tasks with pages, sub-pages, of course, and you can share them to people, okay? You can even create a web page with a Notion, okay, and share it to people, a public web page. You can invite members to collaborate on stuff, and etc., etc. It's a no-go. You have to get it. If you don't have it, it's for free. Create an account on Notion.so for sure. A lot of developers will maybe kill me for that. But I love no code. I know a lot of developers, they don't like no code, but personally, I think that the future of the tech teams, it's developers with no code developers. Now we will have in future development teams no code developers that will be able to create automation asked by the product or marketing or sales department, for instance, really fast. When I need a domain name, I go on Namecheap. It's really cool, just amazing. You can also set up WordPress if you want to use WordPress for the marketing of your SaaS or company. When I need to do demonstration or think about a new SaaS, I always go here, okay, on Whimsical. I use often Whimsical to expand my idea, just to keep them in track and just think about how a product can be built and especially what will be the business logic of this product. So Whimsical, it's amazing. For the payment, I don't think I need to introduce it. It's stripe.com. Stripe, it's just a classic. You can create an account really fast. You can create pages to display your product and they handle all the rest. So basically, people can directly pay you through Stripe. Well, I don't know what you can do without Stripe nowadays to collect money. There are other tools. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. But me personally, every time I launch a product, I just plug it to Stripe for the payments part. Okay, this is the end of this video. I really wanted to introduce you to all the products and language that I use on the web. It's really interesting for me to know if you use the same products as me. Tell me please in the comment, put your stack description as I did on my tweet or answer me on Twitter. I'm really interested in, because that's when we share our stack that we learn new stuff. And I think this is the purpose of this channel. All right, thank you guys for following me. Please subscribe and see you next time. Bye.